Hi, in this video I'm going to show you the transformation of this small axe that I saved from being thrown away by my neighbour. It's as you can see, it's an all steel construction, one piece cast axe. It's I think it's going to make a really good axe for bushcraft and carving because it's so small. It's about, the cutting face is about 70mm, and obviously having the steel construction, it's really heavy for its size, so I think it'd be ideal. So I'm just going to do a little step-by-step video and show you how I transformed it from this piece of junk to a really nice, useful axe and give it a new lease of life. First step is removing this old knackered rubber handle, and then with wet and dry paper bringing this all back to life, getting all the corrosion off and giving it a nice shiny finish again. And then I want to treat it by giving it an acid etch to give it a nice patina, and then we'll give it a sharpen. So I'm just going to get on and make a start now. Now, part way into the cleaning, you can see just how damaged the edge of that axe is and where the back's been used as a hammer. So I'm going to start to carefully remove all that damage with a file and then continue with the polishing. So here you can see the result of some reshaping and polishing. Reground the front and the bevel edge and reworked the back, got rid of all those dents. So the next step is the acid etch in vinegar. This is just done by boiling it in vinegar, so I'll show you the setup in a second. Here's how I'm carrying out my etching process. It's just vinegar, starting to boil it on this old hob, little disposable gas cylinder cooker, and I've got this old biscuit tin that I've just cut a notch in, so the whole thing is getting submerged in the vinegar. And just going to bring that up to the boil and leave it. And you want to really check on it every sort of 5-10 minutes, rinse it off, clean the oxide off. You can use wire wool or like cerium oxide, and then you can just keep repeating the process until you're happy with the finish. I'm doing this to age the blade without it being rusty. Just want a kind of an antique look. And then obviously once it's done and you've achieved the look you want, then you just need to apply a wax, a sealing wax or an oil to stop the blade rusting. But that's the whole point of me doing this. I just want a sort of an antique finish on this project. So yeah, you can use white vinegar, cider vinegar, this is malt vinegar, any vinegar will do. Just got to boil it, and just be wary of how hot you get your vinegar, and keep your blade in there because you don't want to mess your temper up. So I'm just going to let this go now until I've got the desired result. So there you go. While the etching's going on, just going to have a chat about the new handle. This is the wood I've got to replace the handle of the axe. This is an African hardwood called Utili, and it's in kind of similar family timber with the interlocking grain to mahogany. It's really hard, and it's a very dense hardwood. So that's going to be the new handle. And also got a set of loveless bolts here. These are going to be used to affix it, as well as some epoxy resin. But you can, these are just typical fittings for putting the scales on knives. Scales is just another term for the handles. They're wooden grips. So yeah, you can buy these online quite easily. But yeah, the original handle was a moulded piece of rubber, split, and someone wrapped some tape around it. So yeah, that's for the bin. and when the new handle's on there, hopefully it's going to look like a really nice little axe and I'll get some good use out of it. So I'm looking forward to starting to put the handle on, which will be the next section. So we'll get on with that. Now you can see the finish after the vinegar etching. You can see it's a matte mottled patina all over it now, just what I was after. Next step is the handle. It's going to be a bit trickier than a normal handle on an axe or on a knife, as this handle section's like an I-beam, so I'm going to have to carve recesses in the handle, but we'll do it step by step and I'll show you how I'm doing it. So I'm going to get on and do that now. Right, this utility hardwood, it's got a planed face, so the inside pieces of the handle are both going to be planed face, so when they mate together they'll be flush. I've got to allow for the thickness of the blade handle inside, so I'm going to have to notch out a recess of this I-beam pattern, half of it in one side and half in the other, so we get an equal level handle that's bang in the middle. So I'm going to have to trace around the edge carefully, then I'll make a rough pattern and then cut that out, replicate it so I've got two pieces exactly the same but opposite, obviously smooth face to smooth face, and then I can start notching out the middle to accept the handle section. So I'm going to get on and do that now. So there you go, I've created the cavity in one side of the wood. The easiest way, especially because this utility is such a hard wood, the easiest way to form this was with an angle grinder, but I've now got one half that locates and sits in and it's firm, so I just need to cut this piece out with the shape, flip it and replicate for the other side. So I'm going to do that now. So there's the axe setting, one roughed out piece of handle so far. Just going to get on and make the other one now. As you can see, there's both handle scales now fitting flush all the way around. So now it's time to drill the holes for the loveless bolts and get some epoxy out. Well, as you can see, I've drilled the holes in the handle for the loveless bolts to go through. I've just sat the handle into the scale, so I'll clamp it in place, drill the holes, and then when I clamp the other side on as well and clamp the whole lot and sandwich it together, I can come back through the other way so all the holes all align up perfectly. So I'm going to get on and do that now. As you can see, I've drilled the holes all the way through now on both scales, and I've countersunk and created this shoulder for the loveless bolts. They're like sacrificial, so once they're done up, thread locked, done up really tight, and the handle's set, the epoxy's gone off, these can just be ground off with an angle grinder, and when the handle's finally shaped they can be done over and polished and they'll just look like brass pins. So yeah, the next step's to fit it all together with epoxy and tighten up and thread lock the loveless bolts up, and then leave it to set and then cut them off, and yeah, going to get on and do it now. So there you can see both the scales are on, the loveless bolts are right through and done up as tight as I can do them up. You see the spewed out excess epoxy, so it all just needs leaving now to set, and then once it's been left for a few hours and it's all gone off rock hard, we can start to shape the handle and cut the loveless bolts off. So here it is after the initial grinding and shaping. You can see the loveless bolts are ground off, they're just kind of polished now it's been sanded. But yeah, I'll put a little bit of shape to the front of it, but it's just pretty much the same curve as the original. So I'm just going to work through grades of sandpaper now, getting finer and finer. Then I'm going to stain to bring the grain out and finally wax the whole thing, and then just the last job to do would be just put a nice razor sharp edge on the axe. But yeah, there's the handle on there. So here's Project Axe finished now. You can see the handle, colour's been brought out just with a little bit of wax. Really happy with how it's come out. It's just what I imagined in my head, and aside from just giving the edge a little bit of a hone up, it's done. So hope you enjoyed the video, and if you come across an old axe or hammer or anything in the junk shop, or someone's going to throw it away, or you might be throwing it away, just think twice and give it a new lease of life. This has got many years of bushcrafting ahead of it now. So thanks for watching. For more bushcrafting and survival videos, please subscribe to my channel.